Let's take a look at Chapter 2 test review. Okay, let me get my tablet up and running here. There we go. It says evaluate the function f of x. Let's just get my pen to work. Let me try the other pen. There we go. So we got f of x is equal to x squared plus 4x minus 3. And first one I want to find is f of 5. Well, evaluating functions is always the same. You go through and replace all of your x's with parentheses. So I got parentheses squared plus 4 times parentheses minus 3. Now whatever is inside the parentheses right here is automatically put right here and right here. So we'll put a 5 there and we'll put a 5 there. And then you want to simplify. 5 squared is 25. 4 times 5 is 20 minus 3, which is 45 minus 3, or 42. Okay, now f of, I think that says x plus 2. Again, evaluating functions is always the same. We go up to original function and we replace our x's with parentheses. Everything else remains exactly the same. Squared, the plus 4, the minus 3, we just replace the x's with parentheses. Now whatever's inside the parentheses here, which I didn't write down correctly, let's try it again. We're wanting to find f of x plus 2. Okay. Whatever's inside the parentheses right here is automatically we're going to put in right here and right here. So we'll put an x plus 2 here, and we'll put an x plus 2 here. Now x plus 2 squared we're going to rewrite as x plus 2 times x plus 2. You have to work it that way. You can't just square the x and square the 2 because of the plus in there. That's what messes it up. Now distributive property. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times 2 is 8. Minus 3. Now FOIL this. X times x is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. 2 times x is 2x. And 2 times 2 is 4. Plus 4x. 8 minus 3 is 5. Always combine together like terms. We got 2x plus 2x is 4x. Plus another 4x is 8x. And numbers. 4 plus 5 gives us 9. So I got x squared plus 8x plus 9. Now let me double check that because I'm watching a movie at the same time I'm creating this, so I've been working all day, so I just needed a little break. Yeah, it looks right. And then the last one is f of negative x. Again, it's always the same. You go up here, replace your x's with parentheses. Everything else remains exactly the same. Now whatever is inside the parentheses right here is automatically what you'll put here and what you'll put here. Now negative x squared, negative times negative is a positive, so we got positive x squared. 4 times negative x is negative 4x minus 3. So we got x squared minus 4x minus 3. Click the next question. Okay, evaluate the piecewise function. I really can't speak. Okay, f of x is equal to 3x plus 4 2x plus 5, and this first piece is if x is less than 0, and the second piece is if x is greater than or equal to 0. And we're wanting to first find f of negative 3, and then we'll find f of 0. And then we'll find f of 2. Okay. Now whatever number's inside the parentheses right here is always your x. So telling us x is equal to negative 3. Now you want to plug that mentally, plug that into your conditions over here. So you want to put negative 3 here and negative 3 here. And then you just ask yourself the question. You read it. Is negative 3 less than 0 or is negative 3 greater than or equal to 0? Well, negative 3 is less than 0, which means this one's true, which means I'll plug it into this piece. So I got 3. And again, whatever's inside the parentheses right here is what you'll automatically put in there. So we got 3 times negative 3 plus 4, negative 9 plus 4, negative 5. F of 0. Again, they're whatever's inside the parentheses right here is your x, so they're telling you x is equal to 0. You're going to mentally plug that into the conditions over here. You'll put 0 here and 0 here. And then you read it and just see which one's true. Is 0 less than 0 or is 0 greater than or equal to 0? Well, it's not greater than, but it is equal to, which means this piece is true. So this is where we'll plug it in. So we've got 2 times 0 plus 5. 2 times 0 is 0, plus 5 gives us 5. F of 2. And again, whatever's inside your parentheses right here is your x, so they're telling us x is 2. I want to mentally plug that in my conditions here. Is 2 less than 0 or is 2 greater than or equal to 0? Well, this one, it's greater than or equal to 0. So we're going to plug into this piece. So we've got 2 times 2 plus 5, which is 4 plus 5 or 9. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. We're given negative 5, 5. Not sure why it's doing that. It's like it doesn't repaint the screen quite correct. And it says, find the slope of the line passing through each pair of points, then indicate whether the line through each point rises, falls, is horizontal, or is vertical. Okay. First off, let's label our points. This is our first point, so I'll label this as x1, y1. This is our second point, so I'll label this as x2, y2. Really doesn't matter which one you say is your first point, which one's your second point. The formula works either way. Our formula says m is equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, it's always a good idea to go through and replace all of your variables with parentheses before you plug in your numbers. Especially true if you mess up on signs. So I replace the y2, y1, x2, and x1 with parentheses. Now y2 we said was 4, y1 we said is 5, x2 is 2, and x1 is negative 5. Okay. Well, 4 minus 5 is negative 1, and a negative negative gives us a positive, so that's 2 plus 5, which gives us negative 1/7. Okay, so negative 1, I don't know what that was there. Negative 1 divided by 7. Okay, point rises, it's not vertical. Vertical is up and down, that's when you have like x equals something. Line is horizontal when you got y equals something, like y equals 3. Line rises is when you got a positive slope. We got a negative slope, so that means the line falls. Okay. Problem number 4. Got negative 4, negative 11, and 1, 4. And use the given conditions, write an equation for each line in point slope form and slope intercept form. Okay. I don't really like point slope form, but I'll go ahead and give it to you here. First off, we need m. So same formula as here. This is our x1, y1. This is our x2, y2. Our formula, I won't write it down again, but it's right here. And again, first thing we'll do is we'll go through and replace all of our variables with parentheses. Now y2 we said was 4, y1 we said was negative 11. x2 is 1, x1 is negative 4. Well, negative negative gives us a positive, so we got 4 plus 11, and negative negative gives us a positive, so we got 1 plus 4, which gives us 15 over 5, which gives us 3. Okay, your point slope form is y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1. And where's the equation line point slope form? Okay. So I'll plug in this point here, and we got y minus y sub 1, which is negative 11. M was 3, and then x minus x sub 1, which is negative 4. Well, negative negative gives you a positive, so we got y plus 11 is equal to 3 times x plus 4. I'm really wondering on this online how it, if they programmed it for both points, or is there a specific one you have to choose? It actually doesn't matter. Both of them give you the same answer. We'll see, I guess. 3 times x plus 4. Okay. Now in slope-intercept form, this means you solve for y. So we'll go through our process. We got y plus 11 is equal to distributive property. 3 times x is 3x. 3 times 4 is 12. I want to get to y by itself, so I take 11 over, and we got y is equal to 3x plus 12 minus 11, which is y is equal to 3x plus 1. And that's our slope-intercept form. And next question. Let me start a new page here. Problem number 5. It says, use the given conditions to write an equation for the line in point slope form and in slope-intercept form, passing through 9, negative 2. And perpendicular to y is equal to 1/3 x plus 5. Okay. Now, just in general, to find our slope, we got perpendicular line slopes are negative reciprocals. So the slope of this perpendicular line is 1/3. Now, a negative reciprocal, what that means is you start with the slope, which is 1/3. You write it in fraction form. Now, this is already in fraction form, but if you had like 5, for example, you put 5 over 1. Flip it, that's the reciprocal part, means fraction flipped, and change its sign. So we get negative 3 over 1. So the m we're trying to find is going to be negative 3. Now we're given a point, so I'll label this. This is x1, y1. And our formula is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. Well, y1 is negative 2, so plug that in. M we just said was negative 3, so plug that in. X minus x1, which is 9. Negative negative gives us a positive, so we got y plus 2 is equal to negative 3 times x minus 9. Negative 3 times x minus 9. Okay, write an equation in slope-intercept form. So we continue this down. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x. Negative 3 times negative 9 is a positive 27. Take the 2 over. And we got y is equal to negative 3x plus 27 minus 2, which is y is equal to negative 3x plus 25. And next question. Okay, use transformations. Now here we got a plus 3 at the end. That means we shifts up 3. Negative 5 inside with the x, that means it shifts left, right, opposite what you think. The negative 5 would make you think it goes left 5, so it really doesn't go right 5. Okay, so right 5, up 3. That's a parabola. I never have used this tool. Let's see if I can figure out how to do it. Up 3, right 5. Right there. Yes. There we go. Reason I know that is because that's the shape of the basic graph down here. The first point is up 1, right 1, or up 1, left 1. So I'll save that. And next question. Find a domain. Okay, so number 7. We got x squared plus 3x minus 10 equal to 0. Your first step in finding a domain when you got a fraction is set your denominator equal to 0 and solve it. Well, this factors using the PSD method. So we got x plus 5 times x minus 2. Now the zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x plus 5 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. So we got x is equal to negative 5 and x is equal to positive 2. Type your answer in interval notation. So interval notation says you go from negative infinity, comma, to your smallest number, which is negative 5, union, and then your smallest number to your largest number, so negative 5 to 2. Then union 2 to positive infinity. Okay, so come here, put my parentheses in. Negative infinity, comma, negative 5, then union symbol, and then negative 5, comma, 2, union, 2, comma, positive infinity, and then closing parentheses. Next question. Let's see. F of x is equal to 1 over x. Or 1 over x. 1 minus x. And g of x is equal to 4x squared plus x plus 2. And first thing I want to find is composition of f and g. Well, that's f of g. And what we would do is we take our f of x, and which is the 1 minus x, and where our x is, we'll put in parentheses. So we got 1 minus parentheses. Now whatever is inside of parentheses right here is automatically what goes in right here. But g is equal to 4x squared plus x plus 2. So this becomes 1 minus, and then I replace this g with 4x squared plus x plus 2. Now remember, if you got a negative out in front of your parentheses, flip the sign of everything inside. So I flip the sign of that, and of that. So we're going to have 1 minus 4x squared minus x minus 2. And always simplify. Combine like terms, combine numbers. Negative 4x squared minus x. 1 minus 2 is negative 1. Okay, so we got negative 4x squared minus x minus 1. Now while we're at it, let's go ahead and find this one, C. Because it now says to plug 2 in. Which is a continuation. What does format this notation says first find a composition of f and g, which we just did, then plug 2 in for the x. So we got negative 4 times 2 squared minus 2 minus 1. 2 squared is 4. Negative 2, negative 1 is negative 3. So we got negative 16 minus 3, which is negative 19. Okay, so now let's go back to B. B says find a composition of G and F. which is g of f. So we're going to take our g of x, which is 4x squared plus x plus 2, and everywhere we have an x, we'll put in parentheses. Now whatever's inside the parentheses right here is automatically we'll plug in here and here. But f is equal to 1 minus x, so this becomes 4 times 1 minus x squared plus 1 minus x plus 2. Then we want to simplify. 1 minus x squared is 1 minus x times 1 minus x, plus, those parentheses aren't doing anything, so 1 plus 2 is 3 minus x. 1 minus x times 1 minus x, 1 times 1 is 1, 1 times negative x is negative x, negative x times 1 is negative x, and negative x times negative x is a positive x squared, plus 3 minus x, which gives you 4 times 1, combine like terms, negative x is negative 2x, plus x squared, minus x plus 3, put in the right order. Multiply that 4 through, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times negative 2x is negative 8x, 4 times x squared is 4x squared, minus x plus 3. Now rearrange those, standard form. So I've got 4x squared goes first, negative 8x and negative x gives me a negative 9x, and 4 plus 3 is 7. So we've got 4x squared minus 9x. 4x squared minus 9x plus 7. Okay, D. After we find the composition of g and f, we then want to plug 2 in for the x. That's what this notation says. The composition g and f, you find that first, then plug 2 in for the x. So I got 4 times 2 squared minus 9 times 2 plus 7. 2 squared is 4. Negative 9 times 2 is negative 18 plus 7, which is 16 minus 18 plus 7. Negative 2 plus 7, which is 5. And next question. 4x plus 4. And it says to find the inverse. Okay, first step. Replace f of x with y. Second step, interchange x and y. So we got x is equal to 4y plus 4. Third step, solve for y. So I'll take the 4 over, so we got x minus 4 is equal to 4y. Divide everything by 4, so I get 1/4 x minus 4 over 4 is equal to 4 over 4y, which gives us 1/4 x minus 1 is equal to y. And step 4, put your inverse notation in. So inverse is equal to 1/4 x minus 1. So 1/4 x minus 1. And write standard form given that information. Given center is 3, 5, and radius is square root of 3. Now our standard form is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Now if they're given a center, they're giving you h and k. So that's h and that's k. So plug it in. So we got x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared is equal to the square root of 3 squared. And square root of 3 squared gives you 3. About out of space there, so we've got x minus 3 squared plus y minus 5 squared equals 3. And let's see which ones I got wrong, if any. Good, I got them all right. Okay, review test, go to results. Anyway, that's the test review.